Picture a jewel so radiant that emperors in China fought wars over its sweetness. And today it powers a $4 billion industry, sending millions of tons of lychee from Southeast Asian groves to supermarket shelves around the world. Welcome to Agri 360X. I'm your AI narrator, and over the next 2,000 words, we'll journey through humid lychee orchards, track the bloom-to-harvest drama, and step inside modern processing plants where this delicate fruit transforms into canned lychee, frozen pulp, and premium liqueurs. Hit like, drop your thoughts below, and subscribe for more deep dives every Monday, Friday at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. with weekend specials at noon. Now, let's crack open the secrets of lychee. Ancient origins, from wild trees to royal tables. Lychee, Lychee chinensis, began its story over 2,000 years ago in China's Guangdong province, where wild trees towered among bamboo groves. The first recorded lychee feast appears in Tang Dynasty writings, 618 to 907 CE, describing the fruit's heady fragrance and succulent flesh. Imperial couriers once raced hundreds of miles to deliver fresh lychees from Guangzhou to the palaces of Chang'an before spoilage. Genetic studies trace cultivated lychees to a handful of wild populations near the Pearl River Delta, whose diversity enabled early farmers to select the plumpest, juiciest varieties. By the 17th century, lychee poems and paintings adorned scholars' studios, cementing the fruit's status as a symbol of romance and longing. Yet lifting lychee beyond southern China remained elusive until steamships in the 19th century carried saplings to India, Thailand, and beyond, ushering a tropical jewel into the global fruit lexicon. Post-harvest handling, the race against time. At the packing shed, lychees embark on a precise sequence. 1. Initial grading. Conveyors carry fruit under vision cameras that sort by size. Large at 28 mm, medium 24-28 mm, small 24 mm, and discard cracked or discolored specimens. 2. Wash and dip. Fruits tumble through chlorinated water, 50 ppm free chlorine, and receive a 15-second dip in 0.5% calcium hypochlorite to sanitize surfaces. 3. Drying and cooling. Hot air blowers remove excess moisture, then forced air chambers drop fruit temperature from field heat, 30 degrees Celsius, to 5 degrees Celsius in under 2 hours, using hydro-cooled air at 90% humidity to prevent shrivel. 4. Hydro-cooling. For export lines, fruit moves through a water bath at 1 degrees, reducing core temperature to 2 degrees C, critical for shipping to distant markets. Total time from orchard to cooled packhouse, 4 hours max. Every minute counts. Delays invite mold, pericarp cracking, and off flavors. At the end, lychees rest in octagonal punnets or 5-kilo plastic bins, sealed with perforated plastic to balance oxygen, carbon dioxide, and humidity for a 21-day shelf life under refrigeration. Industrial processing, beyond fresh fruit. Lychee's versatility extends to a suite of processed products. Canned lychee. Peeling and destemming. Automated peeling machines split the pericarp, while vacuum-powered destemming stations remove husks, leaving a nearly translucent aril. Syrup infusion. Fruit flows into steam-jacketed kettles where it bathes in syrup, 28-degree Brix sugar solution with citric acid at 0.1%. Timed cycles ensure gentle thermal treatment, 90 degrees C for 3 minutes, preserving texture. Filling and seaming. Aseptic fill lines pack fruit and syrup into 425-gram tin cans or 565 grams glass jars under 0.1 ppm microbial counts. Retorting. High-pressure retorts cook cans at 121 degrees for 20 minutes, sterilizing contents for 24-month pantry life. Frozen arils and puree. IQF lines. Individual lychee arils freeze at 35 degrees C in fluidized tunnels within 4 minutes, locking flavor and cell structure. Arils tumble onto insulated conveyors into cartons, enabling culinary uses from sorbets to cocktails. Concentrated puree. Whole fruits pressed through membranes, separating juice from pulp. Centrifugal evaporators reduce volume by 65%, yielding puree at 65 degrees Brix, the base for juices, yogurts, and confections. Drying and snack products. Drum dryers. Peeled arils pass through vacuum drum dryers at 50 degrees C, shrinking to leathery snacks with 65% retention of anthocyanins, marketed as high antioxidant superfoods. Encapsulated powders. Spray dryers transform lychee juice into fine powders, down to 50 used in powdered beverages and ingredient blends. Together, these lines transform fresh lychee into a year-round portfolio, maximizing value and minimizing waste across the fruit's fleeting fresh window. Global trade and market trends, from Asia to everywhere. Lychee's export markets have surged. China, world's top producer, 2.3 million tons in 2023, exports 300,000 t fresh and 1 million t of processed goods to ASEAN, Europe, and North America. Thailand and Vietnam, combined 500,000 t production, exporting 150,000 t to China, Australia, and the Middle East. Their early season windows capture off-season demand in China and Japan. South Africa and Australia, harvest in November-December, sending 100,000 t fresh lychees to Europe and Gulf markets, extending the calendar by 2 months. United States, domestic farms in Florida and Hawaii produce 20,000 t, while imports top 80,000 t, fresh in summer and canned frozen year-round. Retail trends favor lychee on the stalk gift packs in Asia, luxury lychee and rose cocktails in Europe, and health-focused lychee extract supplements in North America. Online sales, fueled by vacuum-sealed cold packs, now account for 10% of premium lychee sales in urban centers. Cultural significance and festivals, celebrating the season. Lychee's vibrant red clusters signal summer and joy. China's Lychee Festival, Guangzhou. Each June, 100,000 visitors tour the Lychee Cultural Park, sampling 500 local cultivars and buying fresh fruit for 200,000 kg premiums. Thailand's Wangchun Lychee Fair. Over 200,000 attendees in May, eating lychee ice cream, cocktails, and frosted treats, generating $3 million in local tourism revenue. Vietnam's Thanh Ha Lychee Village, UNESCO Heritage Site, where villagers hold folk dances and boat races on the Red River, selling fruit at roadside stands for D60 wo, 0,000 saws and kgs. Such celebrations underscore lychee's role as more than a fruit. It's a cultural touchstone connecting agriculture, community, and seasonal delight. Challenges and sustainable solutions, nurturing the future. Lychee faces headwinds. Climate variability. Erratic cold snaps in spring can kill blossoms. Too much rain during bloom washes pollen away. Some growers install frost fans or overhead misters, while trialing cold-tolerant varieties developed through marker-assisted selection. Labor shortages. Manual harvest demands 500 kilondos per worker per day. Aging rural populations in China strain picking crews. Mechanized harvesters are emerging, robotic arms that clip clusters and gently place them in foam trays, though cost remains $300,000 per unit. Post-harvest losses. Up to 30% of fresh lychee spoils in transit due to decay. Blockchain-tracked cold chain monitoring, using IoT temperature loggers in each crate, alerts shippers to breaks in refrigeration, cutting losses by 60%. Water use and soil health. Intensive orchards consume 8,000 ml per season. Drip irrigation and soil moisture sensors reduce water use by 20%, while cover crops and mulching preserve organic matter, curbing erosion on hilly terraces. Certification schemes like Rainforest Alliance Lychee and Global GAP encourage integrated pest management, fair labor, and resource conservation, rewarding compliant growers with 15% price premiums in Europe and North America. Innovation and the horizon. Next generation lychee. The future of lychee blossoms with technology and sustainability. Gene editing and biomarkers. CRISPR. Trials target fruit-cracking genes, aiming to reduce pericarp rupture by 50% under heavy rain. Marker-assisted breeding at South China Agricultural University accelerates cold tolerance lines, promising expanded cultivation zones into subtropical Yunnan by 2028. Indoor vertical lychee. Experimental greenhouses in Japan grow lychee at 2-meter heights under LED lighting, producing micro-harvests year-round at $50 kilolakis for ultra-fresh local markets in Tokyo. Circular bioeconomy. Pressed pericarp waste enters anaerobic digesters, generating 5 kcal per ton of lychee husks and feeding biogas back into farm operations. Dried pericarp also yields natural dyes and phenolic antioxidants for cosmetics, a $10 million niche. Digital consumer engagement. QR codes on punnets link to orchard GPS maps, varietal profiles, and harvest dates, allowing buyers to trace their lychee back to a single tree. This transparency builds trust and commands 10% higher prices online. These innovations point to a future where lychee transcends its seasonality, electrifies local economies, and pioneers circular resource use, while preserving the orchard traditions of millennia past. Conclusion and call to action. Your lychee vision. From wild teosinte grasslands to climate-smart orchards, from hand-picked clusters to high-tech processing lines, lychee's journey illuminates the nexus of culture, commerce, and conservation. As you savor each ruby-red aril, remember the science, sweat, and stories woven into its flesh. Now it's your turn. What bold step would you champion? Be it rain shelter nets to protect blooms, robotic harvesters to ease labor, or new biotech for crack resistance to secure lychee's future. Share your insights in the comments below. Thank you for joining Agri360X, where we unearth the hidden tales behind the foods we love. If this deep dive into lychee inspired you, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss our daily explorations at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m., with weekend specials at noon. Until next time, stay curious and let innovation ripen in every orchard.